As I remember and reflect upon the 80th anniversary of D-Day, I am reminded of the opening scene to the movie Saving Private Ryan. I look at this and I am reminded of the immense sacrifices that those men made. They died to preserve our country. They died to preserve our Constitution. But now, I have to ask myself, was it worth it? Or was it all for nothing?
Never in my life did I think I would like to see a dictator. But if there's going to be one, I want it to be Trump.
I think about the enormous sacrifice, their willingness to give up their lives, just so these people can vote for someone who is convicted of 34 felons.
As you can see on the screen here, count 1, guilty. Count 2, the former president found guilty. Count 3, guilty.
This council has no hesitation in proclaiming you all guilty. 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 Guilty.
Guilty on all counts. This jury in New York City, a jury of his peers, finding the former president guilty on every single felony count brought against him by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, is now a convicted felon.
Trump is in jail. Next election, do you still vote for him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll even send him $50 for his bond.
Damn.
Yep.
He's a billionaire, though. You could give him money?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Spouts racism loud and clear.
You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Called our fallen soldiers suckers and losers.
For this nation. In the report, The Atlantic magazine says the president privately referred to fallen American troops as, quote, suckers and losers.
Claimed that his heroes don't get captured.
He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Sides with Putin over our own allies.
Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is who do you believe?
They said they think it's Russia. I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be. Yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
Putin came over here. I would probably join his force.
He invaded Ukraine, killing thousands of people.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
As a veteran yourself, does it concern you at all that Russian aggression could move even beyond Ukraine?
I don't think Putin's a problem. I think Zelensky's the problem.
Why do you think Putin's not the problem? He's the one that invaded Ukraine and has killed thousands of people.
Because Putin is trying to save his country from the likes of idiots like Zelensky and the elitists.
You know, this administration is trying to start a war with Russia. Russia's not our enemy.
A sexual predator who raped a woman and then berated her afterwards.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
Carroll's team called that a confession, pressing Trump in his deposition.
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the...
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true.
Belittle Gold Star parents.
Donald Trump, you're asking Americans to trust you with their future. Let me ask you, have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
He was, very emotional and probably looked like a nice guy to me. His wife, if you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me, but plenty of people have written that. She was extremely quiet.
She says, walking onto the convention stage with a huge picture of my son behind me, I could hardly control myself. What mother could? Donald Trump said that maybe I wasn't allowed to say anything. That is not true. My husband asked me if I wanted to speak, but I told him I could not. The Khans also wanted to know what Donald Trump had ever sacrificed compared to what their family had. And here's what Trump had to say about that to ABC News.
I think I made a lot of sacrifices. I worked very, very hard. I've created thousands and thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs. I think
those are sacrifices?
Said he'd be a dictator on his first day as president.
I only want to be a dictator for one day.
Just so you know, that is how it starts.
You would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
I feel that as a president, you have to have immunity. Very simple.
The media has been freaking out because Donald Trump, he said that he's going to be a dictator on day one and day one only. I love that.
No, I'm saying, would you rather have 4 years of Trump as a dictator or 4 years of Biden as a president?
Trump as a dictator.
If he says it, then I'll go with it. And if he wants to be a dictator, then so be it.
I'd rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years. Absolutely.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
This country needs a dictator. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
If they decided to go back to a monarchy and make Donald Trump the king, would you be okay with that?
I would do that versus what we're at now.
On day one, Donald Trump said, if I win again, I'm going to be a dictator for a day. How does that make you feel?
It's a campaign promise.
The former president said on day one he's going to be a dictator for a day. How does that sit with you?
It's just great because, he has to, from day one, start kicking butt and putting things back into place.
Would have his enemies either imprisoned or executed.
Trump's lawyer claimed the president has a legal license to murder his American political rivals.
Said he would get rid of the Constitution.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump says the 2020 election should be overturned and that he should be reinstalled as president. Trump has made similar statements before, but on Sunday he went a step further, calling for parts of the Constitution to be thrown out.
The Constitution. We believe in it. They do not. They do not. They do not.
President Trump attacking the First Amendment and freedom of the press.
You take the writer and or the publisher of the paper, a certain paper, and you say, who is the leaker? National Security. And they say, we're not going to tell you. They say, that's okay, you're going to jail. And when this person realizes that he is going to be the bride of another prisoner very shortly.
How does Trump feel about freedom of assembly? He says, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And he's suggesting that that's what we should do, that we should bring in the troops and shoot the protesters.
The commander-in-chief was suggesting that the U.S. military shoot protesters.
Yes, in the streets of our nation's capital. That's right. How about the Fifth Amendment, due process?
Very simply, if you rob a store, you can fully expect
to be shot as you are leaving that store.
And of course, invoked an insurrection.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building.
This is the moment the storming of the Capitol was launched. The thugs smashed windows using fists and a shield. This guy used a metal barrier on a door.
They were peaceful people. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable. And I mentioned the word love. The love in the air. I've never seen anything like it. The love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
We lost the line. We lost the line. All MPDs, step back! All MPDs, step back up to the upper deck! All MPDs, step back to the upper deck! We lost the line! We lost the line!
These are the facts. If you don't have a problem with someone like that being president, that says a lot about you. It also says how little you care and respect this country, and of all the sacrifices that were made to preserve it. In other words, they support Trump more than they support this country. And if you need any more proof, here are the January 6th Trump insurrectionists replacing on the Capitol the American flag with the Trump flag. Let that sink in. Replacing the American flag with the Trump flag. If nothing else, that should tell you where their allegiance lies. And this brings us back to the beginning. Was their sacrifice worth it?
Donald Trump, he said that he's going to be a dictator on day one, and I love that.
If he says it, then I'll go with it. And if he wants to be a dictator, then so be it.
I'd rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years, absolutely.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
This country needs a dictator. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
Never in my life did I think I would like to see a dictator. But if there's going to be one, I want it to be Trump.
And I will finish by saying, please, do not let their sacrifice be in vain.